Right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Tonight we have League Cup semi-final action as Chelsea take on West Ham for a place in the final in March. It's the first of the two semi-finals. Tomorrow it's Arsenal versus Manchester City. But for tonight, the action is fully on, or our attention is fully on the action between Chelsea and West Ham. Harry, should be a very interesting game.
Yeah, very much so. Chelsea with an opportunity to reach their 6th ever Women's League Cup final. West Ham with an opportunity to reach their first ever and become the first team to beat Chelsea over 90 minutes this season. So a good opportunity for West Ham. They're up against it, but what a moment it would be if they could somehow win tonight. Whether that's after in 90 minutes, whether that's on penalties, they will not care. They've got to come up. That'll be the game plan. Sit back and take it to spot kicks and see what happens. Chelsea will look to respond. They're hunting down. We know how much Pastor wants to go out and win all 4 trophies that Chelsea are competing for. Wasn't a great game on Sunday against Villa. Still managed to win it, but I think a point to prove tonight. Pastor wouldn't be happy with that performance at the weekend. I'm expecting a marked improvement from Chelsea.
Yeah, as for West Ham, well, they've had not a bad run recently, to be fair, other than the loss to Liverpool in both the League and the FA Cup. They have won 2 games in the last 5, wins against Tottenham and Everton. However, one of those games in the last 5 was, of course, against Chelsea. That was a 5-0 loss, and that will be a source of fear, I think, for West Ham fans.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for the Hammers. That was a really difficult game, but to be fair to them, I think on another day it could have been a much lower scoreline. Chelsea were just kept trying to score goal of the season contenders in that game. Some beautiful strikes. So if they can prevent Chelsea from scoring worldies, maybe that scoreline can be a little bit closer.
Yeah, indeed. Let's start then by looking at the lineups for tonight. It is Chelsea, the home side game at Kingsmeadow, and the lineup is as follows. It's a 4-2-3-1 for the Blues. In goal, Hannah Hampton keeps her starting berth, of course, without the option to rotate anymore, with Zakura Misovic announcing her pregnancy just the other day. A back 4 then of Lawrence, Bjorn, Bright, and Niamh Charles. In the pivot, it's Kira Walsh's first start for Chelsea alongside Sioka Nuskin, and then a midfield 3 of Karen Reid, Hamano, and Guro Wrighton behind the lead striker, Mayra Ramirez. Really strong, gives the semi-final vibes, but could it have been a little bit more of a rotated side for a game like this?
It's a really difficult one to get right because there's a lot of factors going into this game for Chelsea. As you say, it is West Ham are a weaker opposition, but at the end of the day, it is a semi-final. You are in the last 4, so you can't afford to take any risks. We've Chelsea gone back to the front 4 that we've seen for the majority of the season. I think Ash Lawrence is very lucky that Lucy Bronze is unavailable for today, because after that performance against Aston Villa, I think she was guaranteed to be dropped until Bronze went and picked up a minor injury. And
Bronze was out anyway, wasn't she? She wasn't available for selection.
And the same with Baltimore as well for tonight. So Chelsea missing a couple, but very exciting to see Kira Walsh get her first start. Overall, it's a ridiculously strong side, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess as well the other thing to say is they have got an FA Cup game at the weekend, so they can rotate between here and that game. It's not, obviously they do play Brighton on Saturday, which is going to be a bit of a difficult game. Everton, which is similar level to West Ham. So I get why perhaps tonight they don't want to rotate too heavily, given that it is so late in the competition. Let's talk through then some of the messages in chat. Oh, no, sorry, we haven't done the West Ham team.
No, we haven't done the
West Ham team. Let's look at the West Ham team first then. Now, whether this is a 4-4-2 or a change of shape, we're not sure. We'll read it out as a 4-4-2 and we'll work it out as they start to play. In goal, it's Kinga Shemik. She's looked good since joining the Hammers last summer. In the back 4, Mengwen Lee, Eva Nystrom, Zadorsky and Hanshaw. Across the 4 then, it looks like it'll be Smith, Siren, Gori and Vivian Assayi. And then a front line of Martinez and Uweki. Now, this could be a 3-4-3. Because Smith is more naturally a right back, but could also play on the right midfield. So that they could use it as a wing back, use Hanshaw as a wing back, drop Lee into the back 3 and use Assayi as a winger and play a 3-4-3. I think this will probably be a 4-4-2, because that's what they've been playing recently, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, how do West Ham stand the best chance of getting something from tonight? And then we'll look at chat.
I think it's one of those West Ham where over the last couple of games have been really interesting, as you say, because they got I think the Liverpool results show where they are right. The 1-0 game showed how good West Ham are for me. The 5-0 loss to Liverpool was a weird circumstances. Obviously, Tisiak got herself sent off. Camilla Saiz scored another own goal. So that one was, I think that result didn't reflect on how good West Ham actually are. When you look at the game where they narrowly lost to a very, very good Liverpool side, I think they played very, very well. We've seen this season that the Hammers are pretty good coming forwards. They pack a bit of a punch. Martinez has looked pretty sharp in the last couple of weeks. I think that Ueki, Asai have both had decent campaigns. So West Ham, they're good coming forwards. If they can get opportunities tonight, they're going to have to take them. They have to take inspiration from Aston Villa on Sunday. Villa got opportunities and just didn't take them. If West Ham get any chances tonight to find the back of the net, they have to score. And defensively, they're going to have to be strong up against the likes of Myro Ramirez. Again, just like Villa were. Be physical, be assertive, be strong, and really just try and disturb Chelsea. Don't let Chelsea get into a rhythm. The key for West Ham tonight is defensively they have to be solid. If they can avoid conceding, as I said, it goes to extra time, it will go to penalties. So if they can keep it at 0-0 for 90, 120 minutes, they've got every chance of getting something from this game.
Yeah, and let's talk to chat then. Go and welcome to the stream. Ask how come YouTube don't watch men's football. We do watch men's football. Obviously this channel is just for the women's game. We used to have a channel talk about the men's game. We don't post on there anymore. We're now fully focused on the women's game. We do still watch the men's game, but yeah, it's just not really. There's too much competition on YouTube in the men's game. Then asks, and how did you get into women's football so much? It probably would have been after we spoke about this a bit on stream the other night. Probably would have been after the Euros. Yeah. After England won the Euros, and then big time over the Australia World Cup, and then we started covering the WSL. Emily says, I think it'll be 6-0 Chelsea. Hey boys, how are you both? Good. Very excited for tonight's game. Hopefully we have some good semi-final ties. We've got Chelsea West Ham tonight. I think tomorrow night, unfortunately I'm not here, but that should be a really good game. Yeah, very much so. If it's anything like Sunday, then it probably will be.
I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be I think either way we're guaranteed for a really, really good final. Based on expectations, we expect Chelsea to win tonight, and then it'll be either Arsenal or City. Either way, I think tomorrow night will be a hugely competitive game, one that could go all the way to penalties or it could be very, very close. Whoever wins that game, whoever gets to the final, will make it very, very interesting. But I do think tonight will be tight. I don't see. I mean,
do have extra time available this evening as well.
So I think that I don't. Basically, I'm trying to say I don't think Chelsea will score 5 like they did a couple of weeks ago. I think it'll be close. It's a semi-final at the end of the day. I don't see a way that West Ham don't turn up. This is one of the biggest games of their club's, their club's history. They could reach a cup a Women's League Cup final for the first time ever. I just don't see a way that they get absolutely battered tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Jay Webb says, keep the blue flags flying high. That's what we love to see in chat. Welcome to the stream. Emily says, how confident are you about tonight's game, boys? In the unlikely event West Ham wins tonight, will you be overly disappointed? How do you think Sonia will be feeling about this match? Sonia's always been very adamant that Chelsea are here to compete in all 4 competitions this season, and she won't be happy if we leave without all 4. So I think there is a huge prerogative on winning silverware. I also think, obviously, this is the first chance to land that blow, to win a piece of silverware in the Bon Pastor era. So I think that will be something that weighs on the mind of Chelsea and on Bon Pastor coming into today's game. So there will be huge importance on winning tonight, and I think that is good because Chelsea should be looking to win every competition, and I don't think you can afford to take the League Cup too lightly. No,
as you say, Bon Pastor demands perfection, and whether that is going to be Barcelona Champions League final, or whether it's Durham in the League Cup, or whether it's West Ham in a semi-final, Chelsea want to go out and win every game, and I think they'll do that. And the result on Sunday against Aston Villa, obviously it was a win, but it was a difficult one. I think that both helps and hinders West Ham. It helps West Ham because they will fancy themselves. They'll see what Villa did, and they know that there's a chance they could take the game to Chelsea tonight. The problem it creates for West Ham is that famously this season, when Chelsea haven't played very well, in the next game they've gone and absolutely torn apart their opposition, and they respond superbly. So they've got to be worried about that. West Ham have got to be prepared to deal with everything that Chelsea are going to throw at them. But yeah, I'm expecting a competitive game. But as you say, Chelsea, I don't see them dropping the ball. I think they'll give everything. I don't see it be one of those where Chelsea play poorly and West Ham win. West Ham will only get something from tonight if they manage to, if they give it 110% and and they earn it themselves, rather than Chelsea being poor and dropping the ball. The only way I see it happening is that West Ham turn up and put on their best performance of the season so far.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But then again, we talk about how it's going to be very difficult to see West Ham getting anything from tonight's game. But then you know, you look back at the season so far, West Ham took Tottenham out of the League Cup. I don't think we can afford to underestimate how big of a performance that was, and how important that could be. I know Tottenham haven't been good this season, but that's still a big turn up.
Well, that's the thing, you know, yes, this is a favourable draw for Chelsea, but West Ham still got it. And that's the thing to remember. And obviously, they had to come through the group stage. Admittedly, they did get a kind of the group. They didn't have a single other WSL side in their group. So that was pretty fortunate. But they still had to win those games. They won them pretty convincingly. I think they went and beat London City Lionesses like 6-1 or something. So, you know, they are a good side. And as you know, as I say, with cup competitions, any side who gets to a semi-final, they've earned their right to be here. They deserve to be here. So they're not going to turn up and get rolled over. They've earned their place, and they'll want to prove that tonight, even though they are playing against Chelsea. So I think West Ham, again, they might have to ride their luck a bit. They might have to rely on Shemek to make some saves. But at the end of the day, do what you got to do what it takes to win. That's all they've got to worry about. So yeah, West Ham. It's a big night either way. Even if they lose, but, you know, it's still they'll still be hoping to do themselves proud and earn, you know, and not earn a place in the final if they lose, but just play well and earn a good game really.
Yeah, you know, this is a big momentous occasion regardless for the Hammers to get to this stage in the competition, so I think they'll be pleased with that in itself. Gowen says, love your channel, it's amazing. Thank you, Gowen. Felice drops a stream this evening, all hopeful for a West Ham win, but can't see it happening. Yeah, fair enough, Phil. And Alex says, hello, lads. Good to see you, Alex. But we are about to get underway here. Firstly, though, predictions. Do get involved in the live chat, but we'll start here in the studio. Harry, what is your prediction for today's game?
I think Chelsea are going to win it. I don't think it'll be easy. I think West Ham probably a really good fight, but I think that you just can't argue against Chelsea winning this game. I'll go 2-0 to the Blues. I think it'll be a decent match. I think West Ham will put up a really good fight, but at the end of the day, Chelsea will just have too much quality. I'll go an early goal from Carnareed. I think the game will then stay at 1-0 for quite a while, and then it'll be towards the latter stage of the game. I think Kat Macario will come off the bench and get a goal and just seal the deal for Chelsea and send them through to the final.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be particularly dominant, but I think it will be comprehensive in its manner. I think it will be 3-0 Chelsea today. I can't see West Ham being particularly dangerous in attacking areas. I think this Chelsea defence are very strong, and that's without Naomi Girma. I think Walsh will be keen to impress, and I think Chelsea have been so good in attacking areas this season. There's not been a game where they haven't scored a goal yet. So, yeah, I can't see West Ham keeping them quiet. So I'm going to say 3-0. I will go for a Conrad goal, a Wrighton goal, and a Myra Ramirez goal. I think they'll have it done before they make subs.
Fair enough. Yeah, it really depends what Chelsea we get. If it's the same Chelsea that played the Aston Villa game, then this game could get very, very interesting. But if it's the same Chelsea that was sim for the rest of the season, then it could end up being, you know, pretty convincing and an absolute masterclass. So let's see what we get. Yeah, you know, it really depends. But based on what we've heard from Bonpastor, based on the reaction from, you know, take the Leicester result, for example, Chelsea then went into their next game and were absolutely superb. They've got to do that again. And West Ham, they'll back themselves, you know, they'll be frustrated. They were knocked out the FA Cup pretty early on, but they did draw Liverpool. Their league standing, I think they're starting to recover. There's been some big wins in the last couple of weeks. You know, they beat Everton and yeah, they'll hope to try and, you know, put up a good fight tonight.
Yeah, indeed. Alex, excited to watch COX Kira. Of course, Nuskin and Walsh in the pivot. And Great Square also excited to see Kira Walsh starting for the first time in Chelsea Blue. But it will be Chelsea to get us started in tonight's game. Both sets of players taking a knee in a stand against all forms of discrimination before we kick off proceedings here at Kings Meadow. But it will be Chelsea to get us started. Myra Ramirez from the middle, waiting for the referee's signal. And the referee blows her whistle. And we get underway tonight. Ramirez knocking it back to Walsh. And we're underway for this Women's League Cup semi-final. Chelsea versus West Ham for a chance to play in the final. I believe it's at Pride Park, isn't it?
Yes.
In Derby. So, ball back with Hannah Hampton. Hampton out wide to Millie Bright. Bright back to Hampton. And that's going to be a long ball drilled towards Ashley Lawrence. Lawrence with the touch towards Hermano. One back in there. by Hanshaw, but it is Chelsea's possession once again. Now Walsh. And it is strange seeing Kira Walsh in Chelsea blue. Very unfamiliar. But I'm sure it's a sight we'll get a lot more used to over the next few months. Millie Bright sends that ball long looking for Maya Ramirez. Ramirez touched it down to Wrighton. Wrighton hacks a pass inside, which Nuskin tries to lay out wide again, but it is cut out by Meng Wen Lee. And possession exchanging hands quite quickly here. And Martinez tries to take on Bjorn. Bjorn, though, simply too strong for Martinez.
Yeah, opening minutes are absolutely crucial here for West Ham. You know, in a game like this, when you are up against it, can't afford to concede early. And I think that'll be the first message from Rayan Skinner. His first 5-10 minutes, just keep things quiet. Don't try anything stupid, and just stay in the game, and then work their way into it as much as they can.
Yeah, Hampton into Bjorn. Bjorn looking for a forward option. Tries to get out wide. Ueki cuts it out, but it does go out for a Chelsea throw.
Really well managed from West Ham. Just keeping Chelsea in their own half. Again, they're not going chasing after them. They're not trying to put loads and loads of pressure on them. But as soon as they get near that halfway line, they're trying to cut that pass out and stop them playing.
Yeah. Lawrence, Walsh, just exchanging passes. Now back to Bjorn. Hampton lays it into Nuskin. Nuskin to Bjorn. Bjorn into Lawrence. Lawrence, Hamano. Waits a moment before pulling the forward trigger. Here is Ramirez. Finds Carnery. Just to come down this right-hand side now. Lawrence makes the run beyond. Carnery tries to pick her out. Clearance only as far as the Swede. Now here's Hamano. Lifts it up the line. Carnery looking to take on the fullback. Good defending there from Zadorsky, who comes out to deal with it.
Yeah, well,
It does look like a 5-back today for West Ham. A front three with Ueki on the left-hand side, Asai on the right-hand side.
bit more defensive. They're just going to try and put bodies behind the ball. But when they do get that, the front three could be crucial today. Because if West Ham do get the ball, they've just got to go. And again, Chelsea going to find it very hard.
Carnery. Carnery tries to cut inside on Zadorsky. Zadorsky does well. Hanshaw. Nowhere to go. Loses the ball to Lawrence. Walsh. Lawrence. A pass now to Natalie Bjorn. Bjorn finds Hamano in the pocket, which is really nice. Unable to keep control of the ball, though. It's just one back by Zadorsky. A clearance inside. Picked up by Nuskin. Does fall for Martinez, though. Bjorn wins it back with a firm but fair challenge.
Yeah, again, good. Chelsea didn't well. Bjorn did well to find Hamano there. Hamano just had too much work to do really with the amount of space that she had. But again, that's Chelsea very smart already trying to find that those little tiny areas of space.
Bjorn tries to lift that in behind. Not sure who she's in there. Ramirez had dropped short to come receive the ball. So it's punted straight into the path for Kinga Shemek. Now West Ham can look to play out. Zadorsky finds Ueki. Ueki to Gorey. Gorey lifts it in behind. Martinez flicks it on, but it falls to Millie Bright. Now Chelsea can look to play. Here's Walsh. Lays it wide. Unable to find Carnery, though. It's cut out by Hanshaw. Hanshaw wants to take on Lawrence, but it's Lawrence who stands her ground well. And now it's a West Ham throw on this near side. Throw inside to Gorey. Gorey to Hanshaw. Hanshaw ends up running it off, and that will be a Chelsea throw-in.
Yeah, Gorey's another player that West Ham have got to get on the ball. A player who's had a really, really good season. Through West Ham's troubles and good moments, Gorey's kind of been the standout. No matter what's been going on, and a very good player that could definitely have an impact on tonight's game.
Yeah. Here's Hannah Hampton. Bjorn. Back to Hampton. Walsh. And it's Hampton again. Now Bjorn. Ueki puts the pressure on. Bjorn manages to play out, though. And now here is Carnery. Comes bounding off a player. Say he wants to win it. Bright does bring her down. That's a West Ham free kick.
Yeah, we saw similar issues for Bright up against Gabby Nunes and Rachel Daly for Aston Villa, and Asai just as well again. Being strong, being physical, and and Bright again has to bring her down in order to to sort of get into the ball first.
Yeah. Alex says, when do you expect Germa in the matchday squad? Maybe in the FA Cup. It depends. Obviously, she had a slight ankle injury, which has plagued her start to life for Chelsea. She's also not at full fitness because she's come from the NWSL, where they were in off-season. So she's not had any pre-season yet. So, yeah, we're sort of in a weird limbo period, just waiting for her to come into the side. I think Chelsea's goal would be to have her match starting ready at the latest by those March Champions League quarterfinals. Obviously, the dream is to get her in as quickly as possible, but you don't want to rush her in, especially since at the moment the games aren't the most difficult. And Bjorn and Bright are playing well, but obviously you've got to bear in mind these two have played a lot of football already this season, so I think they will be keen to get Germa in with minutes as quickly as possible, but also obviously worried about taking all the necessary precautions. Here come Chelsea though, down this right hand side. Carnareed wants to take on Zadorsky. Zadorsky stands her up well. Carnareed now to Lawrence. Lawrence into Hermano. Hermano forced backwards now. Walsh. That wide pass into Carnareed, just about finding its intended target. Carnareed around the corner to Lawrence. Lawrence caught in possession, and now she's got to chase after Rico Joecki. Andre Martinez, who's breaking away at speed. Good challenge from Lawrence. That will fall for Bjorn. Bjorn goes back to Hampton, and Chelsea will get away with it.
Yeah, again, really good from Martinez up there, hounding away and was rewarded by winning the ball off Lawrence. Good recovery, though, from the Chelsea fullback. But, again, West Ham doing well. They're sitting deep. They're not allowing Chelsea to get in behind. And they're doing well to force the Blues back.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Right. Now here's Hannah Hampton. Just happy to sit in possession. Now plays that ball out towards Carnareed. Can't quite get that under her control.
And she'll be frustrated by that because that was the first time that she managed to just get in behind Hanshaw.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a hell of a ball to bring down if she managed it, but just start things when you are up against these sides, you are going to have to pull off. It's going to take something quality to find a gap or to get in. I mean, Chelsea, we hope they had 2 shots in the first half against Aston Villa. They'll be hoping they can have more than that in this first half.
Yeah. Charles looking to take the ball up the line. Plays it into Guro Wrighton. Now Walsh. And here's Sioka Nuska. Leave Charles back to Walsh. Walsh just looks to lift it over the top. It'll drop in there for Smith. One back by Chelsea. Now here comes Guro Wrighton. Looks to cut it back to Ramirez, but it's just behind Myra Ramirez. And now West Ham will look to bring it forwards. Pass out low. Intercepted with ease by Kira Walsh. Now Chelsea look to bring it the other way. Bjorn. Lawrence. Plays into Bjorn. Now Walsh.
Again, really well managed by West Ham. Just keeping Chelsea where they are.
No, just really well though to hold on to that ball. Walsh with the backwards pass. Into Bjorn. Nusken. Walsh. Lays into Lawrence. He will shimmy inside. Tries to play the ball forwards. Can't quite pick out Maika Hamano. Martinez flicks around the corner. And that will be Chelsea's possession from this throw.
Ambitious that from Martinez, but right idea. West Ham are shut. When they do get, the attackers are getting the ball, they are trying to move it quickly. At the moment, a little bit too quick, but they're doing well.
Yeah. Now, Phil says West Ham depth in forward areas is impressive for a side in the bottom half. I want to see Harry's leave to get more games. She looks like a good prospect to me. Yeah, Emma Harries. If only her name was Airy Hammers, maybe she'd play every game for West Ham. But alas, she can't change that round.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to.
West Ham are I think they're...
Here's Nusken, and that is... I don't know what the problem is here. The referee has pulled it back for a retake of the throw.
But yeah, I think, West Ham, I think their squad is somewhat better than the league shows them. I think yes, they've climbed a few places in the last couple of games, but for the majority of the season, they've been down the bottom, but they made some good January signings, made some good summer signings.
Lovely switch to the play there from Chelsea. Carnereid lays it quickly into Ash Lawrence. Lawrence looks to put it into the box, only as far as Nusken. Exchange between the two. Nusken puts it into the area. Carnereid, Brighton almost getting a flick on that at the near post, but puts it wide.
Yeah, we get better from Chelsea. Just moved it quickly from left to right and managed to find some openings. And a shot, that is, in the first 11 minutes. But I think West Ham will be happy with the start they've made. They've limited Chelsea pretty much. And they've managed to get into the game. Chelsea, slow and steady at the moment. But I don't think they'll mind that too much because, unlike Sunday, they're not under any pressure themselves, really.
Zadorsky. One back in there by Bjorn. Now Carnereid, Lawrence. And now Millie Bright. Walsh. Nice turn. Bjorn. Lawrence. Bjorn. And now Hampton. Walsh. Turns and Chelsea look to come forwards. Nusken lays it down the line. Here's Guro Wrighton. That's blocked out for a Chelsea throw. Ramirez holds that ball up really well. Now Walsh, Charles. But yeah, Chelsea having a lot of possession. Bjorn.
Yeah. West Ham don't want the ball tonight. They are happy to sit there and let Chelsea have it.
It's just about how quickly Chelsea can break down this low block. It's a different problem to one they had against Villa.
Yeah.
And again, these games are all just building up Chelsea's arsenal, building up their options because they learn how to break down different teams, different styles of teams.
I think we saw this a little bit in the most recent game between Chelsea and West Ham, where Chelsea won 5-0. The difference was in that game is that, well, obviously that could still happen tonight, but the thing that was in that game was that Chelsea just kept scoring screamers. They were picking the ball up 15, 20 yards outside the goal and just smashing it into the top corners. And again, they've pounced on it pretty high here from off Ueki.
Ramirez will run at them. That shot, though, not exactly a screamer. Apart from the fans and the crowd it hit, he were probably a bit surprised.
Yeah, just seemed to lose her bearings a bit there. Don't know why. I think she felt that she was potentially in a different position, or the goal was closer. Because, well, that was just very wide and very high.
Yeah, not a perfect effort there from Myra Ramirez.
But it's on a shot.
Goal kick now.
Chelsea are now starting to find themselves in shooting opportunities.
Jemek lifts that ball in the air. Charles. West Ham a little bit of confusion over who actually have possession for the Hammers. Nusken with a strong stabbing tackle. Force for Walsh. Now Charles. Bright. Back to Hampton. Now Bjorn. Ball out wide to Lawrence. Lawrence into Hamano. Back to Lawrence. Reverse it into Ramirez. Lovely turn from Maya Ramirez to take the defender out of the game. Could that have gone to Carnereid sooner? Does now go to the Johanna Wrighting Carnereid. As Chelsea look to try and make something happen here. Back to Ramirez. Now Carnereid. Tries to put it in, but it's blocked. Did Carnereid need to come out of the box there? She's broken in behind. I feel like she just keeps running forwards there. Instead, she turns around and passes it all the way back to Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez had just played it, not played her through, but played her into a very good position.
That once she turned there, that ball should have gone first time from Ramirez. She takes a touch there because I'm not sure she can see Carnereid. That should almost be instinctive that you know she's there. Ramirez brought down there, and the excessive force deemed to be a foul.
Yeah, Zadorsky just bundles her over. No need to do that. There's a difference between being strong up against Ramirez and just throwing her over.
I do think the West Ham players the Villa players at the weekend have got away with a lot of stuff on Ramirez that perhaps other players wouldn't get away with. Every time the ball was played into Núñez and a Chelsea player was on her back, it was given as a foul.
Yeah, well, the difference is, the problem is, Ramirez is one of those players that wants to fight, but, wants to try and shrug them off. Núñez was happy to go down every time she felt a touch.
Yeah, good point. Here's Charles. Lifts it into the box. Bjorn heads, but it's wide. And so it remains 0-0. Good opportunity though for Chelsea. Squandered there. Wasn't ideal for Bjorn in that position, but it was a well worked move.
It was one of those where she saw it coming, but it felt like she didn't really know much about the header. Guy just plonked on the top of the head and went up rather than forwards towards the goal.
A classic defender's header.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant clearance. It's at the other end. And again, West Ham, that time they try and play out their own, third, and they just play themselves into trouble and end up giving away a throw. It's not that ball has to be direct into Martinez, into Asai.
And get it back now. Here is Micah Hamano. Can't read. Now Lawrence.
Yeah, Gorey just overran that in there. She did well to pounce on it, and then had it was heavy, and she had to take it away from Hamano, and that in turn led her straight into the path of Maya Ramirez.
Alex says Chelsea bench with only one defender, which is Mpome. Doesn't look that great. Yeah, I think this is the problem now with Perese going, is that that's fine because you've got an extra fullback in each position, but it does mean they're a little light in defence at the moment.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the backup at left back is Sondy Baltimore, who isn't naturally a left back. That looks like handball, and it will be given as such.
Yeah.
Chelsea's cross there, blocked by the arm of Meng Wen Lee.
I'm not entirely sure what she's doing. I get that she's jumped to block the cross, but I don't know why her arm's up there.
No.
And why she's jumped away from the ball in order to block it. Anyway, not her finest piece of defending.
Maybe she was torn between blocking and doing the YMCA.
Maybe.
So one arm was normal, one was up in the air.
Potentially. Good opportunities for Chelsea. It's in a decent position. Yeah,
this is the one they'll look to try and work the goalkeeper. Probably not directly, but to put this in the box and then try and make contact with it. They've got a lot of height and a lot of presence from these situations. It'll be Hamano to take. Lays it to Walsh on the edge, who's got time and space. Quickly shut down by Zadorsky, though. Chelsea will look to rework this. Hamano swings it in from deep and wide. Headed away again. Shalena Zadorsky everywhere so far this evening. Bright with a brilliant commanding tackle to keep the ball in this third. Lifts it towards the far post, and it's a bit of a mess at the back post. And it has been given as a goal kick.
Yeah. I don't mind that routine from Chelsea, but if you're going to cut it back to someone on the edge, why is Kira Walsh that player on the edge?
She never looked comfortable striking the first time, so she had to take a touch in there.
And then Bright, a cracking ball on her weak foot. And Nuskin is dealt with.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Nuskin... I thought for it to come off with the West Ham defender, which was my confusion. It definitely didn't touch Silke Nuskin. But it didn't touch anyone. So it ran straight through. And Smith there having to make a risky tackle in the box to stop that ball. It's a misplaced pass. Almost fell to Mayra Ramirez. Here is Hamano. That's to go back to Bjorn.
West Ham have got to stop trying to play out and play themselves into trouble. Go direct. They've got physical strikers out there. Go direct into Asai. Go direct into Martinez. They're trying to play out, and every time they're playing themselves into problems.
Yeah. Eden, up with the streets is a long time without being here. Are you good, guys? Yeah, we're great. Eden, good to see you again. Just going forwards here. Carnery lifts it into the box. That will go over everyone. It's kept alive at the back post. Nuskin with a shot that's blocked. And now West Ham looking to break away with an odd horizontal pass. Somehow comes off. Ramirez putting pressure on the West Ham backline. And they are going to be forced here just to clear it away. Do manage to find Meng Wen Lee. And West Ham now can turn defence into attack as they carry the ball forwards. Lee. Pass looped inside. Not sure who her intended target was, but it falls to Bjorn, and that gives Chelsea the ball again. Carnered. Just waiting for Lawrence to join her in attack here. Goes wide into Lawrence. Takes on Ueki and shrugs her off. Now looking to deliver the ball. It's in there, but it's headed away. It's going to drop now. For Carnery takes aim and it's there. Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. They've been probing for a few minutes now. West Ham's defence remained strong and valiant, but ultimately, at last, Chelsea have opened the scoring. It fell to a matter of when and not if, and now they have found that opening goal. A goal for Joanna Ritting-Carnery, and an important goal considering her form hasn't been the best since the turn of the year. An important goal, and Chelsea lead here after 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a really nice finish, but again, West Ham just not dealing with the ball. They do it well to head it out of the 6-yard box, but I can't describe what Hanshaw tries to do in her own penalty area with some weird backwards header.
Yeah.
Never going to work. Carnegie does well to pick up on it. It should be dealt with. It's a nice finish, but she bursts into the box, takes 2 touches and knocks it past Shemek at the near post. She'll be frustrated to be beaten, but Chelsea, a well-deserved goal. 20 minutes of pressure has finally resulted in the ball hitting the back of the net.
Yeah, indeed. As you say, it did feel like it was coming for Chelsea, and the problem with conceding 1 is now West Ham. The mistakes start to come in. Important tackle that from Shalena Zadorsky, who's been on it tonight. Absolutely on it. West Ham, though, it felt nervous with their concede. Martinez with an effort. But that one not troubling Hampton in the Chelsea goal.
Yeah, better from Martinez, though, running direct and getting a shot away. Yeah, the shot was, let's be honest, it was really poor. But, she does well there to run direct at Brighton, have her backtracking. But West Ham, I don't understand. They've done well tonight by sitting deep and putting players back. But why is the game plan to try and play out and play football? You've got physical strikers up there. Get it into their feet. Let them bring it down. Let them flick it on. And because at the end of the day, if you lose it up there, you lose it 50 yards away from your goal. But if you try and play out and you lose it there, you lose it 10 yards away from your goal.
Also, I'm a bit confused by how they've lined up tonight, West Ham, because it's not. I thought initially they'd changed shape to a 3-4-3, but it is a 4-4-2. It's that they've swapped Vivian Asseyi and Rika Ueki. I'm guessing they want Asseyi's pace and physicality up front, but we saw there. The goal comes from the Chelsea attack comes there from Ueki getting muscled off by Ashley Lawrence. And Lawrence isn't the biggest, isn't the strongest of players. She's got absolutely bullied by her.
Yeah.
Here's Ramirez. Swings a ball into the box. The problem is she'd be aiming for Maya Ramirez there. Ramirez can't aim for herself with the cross.
Yeah, I don't understand why Ueki's on this left-hand side. Just can't. It's just ineffective. And if you watch how Kirsty Hansen beat Lawrence, it wasn't. Kirsty Hansen is the quickest player in the world. Yeah, she's got a yard of pace, to be fair to her, but it's her physicality, if anything, and it's her movement. So I don't get why you'd put Ueki onto this right hand side. Bring someone on who. If
you're going to target Chelsea with a Asseyi tonight, you'd use her on the left hand side.
Yeah, exactly like Villa did with Kirsty Hansen. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Billy saying that's unfinished. Wild choice to shoot normally, but Carnegie has that kind of goal in her locker. Not many players score that goal with such ease. Indeed. Alex saying, Neve can't get a rest with these weeks with 2 games. No, that is a slight problem for Chelsea. Yeah. Brilliant that from Neve Charles, though. Carrying the ball down the left-hand side, puts it into the box. Amaro tries to keep it alive. That is a bit of a silly tackle from her, though, but West Ham come away with the ball. Gorey pushing it to Asseyi. That's been pulled back, though, I think, for the fan.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles obviously, kind of forced to play with Sondy Baltimore being out and with Bronze being out because Lawrence has to play on, Lawrence then has to play on the right, so she can't then play on the left. So, yeah, Chelsea just struggling a little bit with defensive depth at the moment, last week or two. But it doesn't seem to be anything major.
Great square, reacting with wow as well to that goal. It's a very good finish from a very good player. And that's the kind of read we need to see if Chelsea are indeed going to push in all 4 competitions this season. Chance now for West Ham, though. Asseyi in behind. Hampton clears it, but it's into the face of Vivian Asseyi. And that ball bounced for Natalie Bjorn. A moment there where West Ham just opened up the place.
Yeah, a really nice. I think it was. I think Martinez might have been caught out. Asseyi just really have to turn and just fire it straight down the middle. And again, Asseyi just losing out on that foot race. Sharp from Hampton, but heads up play from Martinez to play that ball through. It's ambitious, but that's what you've got to do against teams like Chelsea.
Yeah.
Try those wonder passes.
And sure, Zadorsky. Gorey pokes the ball forwards. Martinez bullied off the ball, though, by Millie Bright. Just absolutely muscled off there. Complete imbalance, really.
Martinez has got to do better there. Just got to be stronger.
Or draw the foul.
Yeah.
Because Bright's always going to come. The problem is that Bright's always going to win the physical battle. But if you can win that mental battle, if you can be the smarter player, you may just draw the foul. Meng Wen Lee up against Wrighton. Loses the ball, tries to commit the foul. Wrighton goes past her anyway. Ball into the box. And it's headed just wide of the far post by Joanna Ritton-Carneries. Brilliant from Wrighton. Unlucky for Chelsea not to make that 2-0.
Yeah, really good from Guro, and Menwen Lee is absolutely struggling out on that right hand side. I think it took a touch on the way through. Yeah, it did, which kind of just. I don't think Connery knew much about it. I think it took don't know who it took a nick off, but it took a nick off somebody. And yeah,
it's Nystrom in there. Even Nystrom, the new signing.
An important touch, really. And Connery still got on the end of it, but he kind of took it away from her actually being able to direct it anywhere near goal.
Yeah, indeed. Romain Johnson says Chelsea will win the final. Got to get there first, Romain. Got to get there first. Of course, we'll find out who they play, as you say, or who will be in the same final tomorrow night of Arsenal or Manchester City. Here is Ashley Lawrence.
It's just good, but it's just lovely.
Link up on this right-hand side, Carnareid. And then, of course, gives possession back to West Ham. Ueki finds Asai. Walsh wins it back with a good tackle. Carnareid holds off Ueki well. Now coming into the box, puts it into the area. It's cleared away.
Then there you go.
That's smart there from Asai, because it didn't look like there was much contact there. But she got the wrong side of Lawrence, and she manages to draw the foul. A yellow card as well for her troubles. Smart that from Vivian Asai. Really didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact.
Yeah, it's really heads-up play. And it's exactly what we said out on that she will cause Lawrence problems. That's why she should be playing on the left-hand side. Finds herself in a good position here, though. And does very, very well just to get the wrong side of Lawrence and draw the foul. And with Lawrence stopping what looked to be a counter-attack, she goes in the book for it. But good play from Asai. And again, it just boggles the mind why she's up front tonight and why Ueki's on the left-hand side. That there should be evidence alone that Rayanne Skinner should swap them both.
Yeah.
And I hope the fact is right in front of her as well, 3 yards in front of her. So I hope she sees that and changes her mind. She has.
Bjorn puts up in the air. Ramirez.
Ooh.
Great physical battle in there. Nystrom wins it back. Deemed a foul though. I think Amano with a push there on Katrina Gorey.
Nystrom got her lucky initially. She completely misread the ball in the air and ended up in front of it. Got very fortunate that no one else managed to pick up on it.
Hanshaw being forced backwards here. Now Nystrom, and that's one back by Chelsea up the field. Wrighton into Nusken, rounds the goalkeeper, and it's 2-0. Chelsea 2, West Ham 0. West Ham moving the ball around the back too slowly. Chelsea pounce Wrighton to Nusken to the back of the net. Lovely job rounding the goalkeeper as well, and Chelsea double their advantage in this game as they look to cruise to the final.
Yeah, again, I said it in the first few minutes. West Ham trying to play out the back. It's causing themselves issues. I do not understand it. Messing around. It's a really poor pass across the pitch from Hanshaw. It's just an absolute mess from the whole back line. Why on earth they are trying to play out the back tonight, I do not know. They get it all wrong. It's Gorey, the one who just plays it.
To Nystrom. Nusken.
Weird pass.
Nusken wins it. It falls to Wrighton, plays it through to Sioka Nusken, who rounds the goalkeeper and puts it away well.
Yeah.
Nystrom put under all sorts of pressure there by Katrina Gorey.
Not much she could do. West Ham. I think West Ham got this wrong tactically tonight. Personnel-wise, formation-wise, and way of playing, and
it's a messy one there. Hanshaw clears it, hits Carnareid, hits Ueki, and it's out for a Chelsea throw.
I don't understand what the game plan was to try and come to Kings Meadow in a League Cup semi-final and knock the ball around the back like nobody's business.
Amano, Lawrence. Back now to Bjorn. Here is Hannah Hampton. Amano, Bjorn back to Hannah Hampton. And now it's Millie Bright.
Chelsea in control of this game now. We're half an hour through. They've scored 2 goals. They've really turned up the heat. And they're in again.
That's a fantastic ball through to Joanna Ritten Carnareid. Cuts inside, her shot's blocked, it falls to Ramirez. Ramirez Back to Carnery to Dorsey with an important interception, but that puts it out now for a Chelsea corner.
Piling on the pressure. I said this could remain close, but with West Ham just got it wrong, and they've gone 2-0 down too early, and Chelsea will look to run right now.
Alex, it almost looks like a double 10 and just Kira in the 6. Obviously, having Walsh there does allow Nuskin the freedom really to roam. I think it still is a 4-2-3-1. It just gives Nuskin that little bit more freedom to get forwards. Right and ball into the box. Headed away by a Chelsea player, I think. Not dealt with by Hanshaw. Hamano puts it in there. Headed away again by Nystrom. Now Kira Walsh, and Chelsea will look to recycle again. Hamano. Lovely pass. Poked through to Ramirez, who can't get a touch right. And so it just rolls through to King Ajemic.
Just watching Kira Walsh, she's one of those footballers that makes the sport look so easy. The way she plays football, jogging around, knocking the ball around, these accurate, clean, superb passes, whether it's a short 3-yard pass or a long range pass, it's just effortless. It's brilliant.
Hamano takes aim, big save from King Ajemic. And then it is cleared away. Wrighton gets ahead on it. Falls to Nuskin, who is going to take a shot, and it's saved again by Ajemic. Into Ueki. Ueki being pinned back there by Lawrence. Ball won by Walsh, unable to keep it under her control. Oh, that's where the pass wasn't accurate, and now Chelsea coming forwards though. Carnery. Hamano. Standing up to the opposition, gives it back to Bjorn. Right. Nice pass from Nuskin into Natalie Bjorn. Carnery there brought down, and now West Ham will look to break. A pass inside to Martinez. Martinez nudged off there by Bright. That's deemed a foul.
Oh, Martinez is lucky there. Really lucky. Again, it's too weak. It's just not being strong enough, and I don't think that's a foul. I think Bright is just assertive, and Martinez goes flying because she's just not putting up any sort of physical fight. I'd love to ask Ryan Skinner what her plan was tonight. What was the game plan? Because was it really to come to Kings Meadow and try and play some football? And by that, they keep doing it. They've conceded 2 goals from it, and they're still trying to play from the goalkeeper.
Zadorsky puts it into the box. That will run all the way through and out for a goal kick.
It's not a bad ball. It's a shame that no one was there to run onto it. But Chelsea just dealing with it well. Good performance. And as I said, this is what we expected from Chelsea. We were expecting a response, and they've provided one. And I think it's a response that could definitely be continued.
Bjorn under pressure from Ueki there. She manages just to win that battle. And Chelsea in a tough spot. Walsh, Bjorn. A nice pass into Carnery. Carnery to Hamano. Hamano having lumps kicked out of her, but she plays out of it wonderfully. And there is a foul pulled back for in there.
Yeah, don't know if it's been pulled back for the first, second, or
Hamano.
Yeah, this season has just had a decent campaign last season, but this year has just come into it. Played something an incredible amount of minutes and is absolutely thriving. And that Chelsea rotation between her and Lauren James is very dangerous.
Ramirez unable to keep that under her control. Carnery pins it back in there. Now wants to play forwards. Goes past 1, goes past 2. Foul in there. Advantage play. Chelsea coming forwards. Wrighton unable to keep that in touch. That's a West Ham throw. Actually fizzed at her there by Nuskin, but they had to try and break quickly. Here's Kirsty Smith. Martinez wants to take on Walsh. Walsh gets in front of her though, and Chelsea have possession. Now Bright. Walsh. Bright. Goes to Hampton. Chelsea in possession. Bjorn. Hampton. Right. Here is Charles. Let's turn that from Neve. Charles tries to play it forward. The pass is cut out by Ava Nystrom. Good tackling there from Nusken. Foul though. It's deemed on Vivian Asay. Didn't look like the ball had stopped moving there when Asay played it, but the ref not keen to stop proceedings for it. And anyway, it doesn't come to anything as Bjorn knocks out of play. That will be a West Ham throw though. Chance now for West Ham to try and make something happen in this game.
Yeah, they're in Chelsea's third. Their opportunities have been limited tonight. This is a
but not non-existent. I think that's an important thing to say. I don't think this West Ham side have been remotely awful. You know, I think Chelsea have played much better than them, of course, but against what is a really tough opposition, it can be difficult. I think their commitment to playing out from the back has, as you said, has caused them a few issues tonight. And Chelsea are just a relentless attacking force. But when they've come forward, they've looked assured of themselves, West Ham.
Yeah, the likes of Martinez and Asai have looked pretty sharp.
Ball in, and that is dealt with by Bjorn. And now it's Ramirez. Nystrom, though, winning that header well in there. And then Carnegie is the player who the ball falls to. Shrugs off Ueki, gives it back to Bjorn. He's under a bit of pressure here. Chelsea under the cosh, but playing out of it quite nicely. Walsh, Lawrence, Bjorn. And that will go long as they look just to try and take the pressure off. Ramirez tries to hold it up. Zadorsky, not much interest in winning the ball, but does manage to get away with what looks like a foul on Ramirez. And now they've got the ball. Alex, that's a good point from the commentator. Micah's also just 20 years of age, but she plays like it's her 5th WSL season. Yeah.
20, yeah.
You forget how young
incredible.
she is. Well, she had that loan to Hamby. Or was it Harvey or Haircut? It was Harvey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then came back and she looked very raw last season, but this campaign she's looked on it. She's looked really sharp under Sonia von Pastor. As I think, you know, her positional intelligence has gone up. I think her maturity seems so mature, especially given her age. And yeah, and obviously we all know she had that technical ability, but you pair that with a bit more intelligence, you pair that with a bit of confidence as well. And suddenly you've got a player who is a very complete player. You know, there was everyone could see that raw potential. It just wasn't coming together last season for her in a Chelsea shirt, but she has looked very assured of herself this campaign, and she was pivotal in the win against Manchester City. We spoke about in that video how she was instrumental in keeping Hasegar out of that game. Obviously, that's how Chelsea went on to win. But yeah, looking very good this season.
And for a player who's playing at the top of the game at 20, you know, she's got 10, 15 years left. You know, a player that is set up now to potentially have a really illustrious career.
Poor pass that out that from Hannah Hampton. Having a few of those recently. You know, I thought the distribution in the Villa game was particularly poor. Didn't think that was a great pass out.
Yeah, I think West Ham are working their way back into the game. Chelsea have probably just taken their foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they are pretty comfortable. But West Ham are doing well to punish that. It's easy just to kind of just forget what's going on and not really put much pressure on. But they're trying to take advantage of Chelsea's, you know, slow, not drop off, but just slowing of the game, really. Lack of relentlessness.
Hampton, Bjorn, now Hampton.
I think West Ham will be frustrated to have conceded 2 goals inside the first 30 minutes. At least if you kept it at 1-0, you know, it's one of those where you're a goal away from sending it to extra time. But at 2-0, they've got a lot of work to do to even, you know, level the match.
Yeah. Right there, strong and physical with Martinez. Loving that tussle tonight.
Yeah. Better from Martinez, that. She got a bit more of a fight.
Yeah.
Didn't she get blown away?
I think she's going to learn a lot from tonight's game.
If anything, it was, you know, it was a negative for her. If she'd allowed herself to get thrown off the ball like she had been, she might want a free kick again. That time she actually decided to stand their ground and you know, still lost the ball.
Yeah. Into Sioka Nusken. Nusken plays it wide. Into Charles. Back to Nusken. Lays it nicely into Walsh. Walsh into Hamano. Back to Kira Walsh. Now Walsh out to Natalie Bjorn. And Chelsea will look to come down this right-hand side. Lawrence. Has Ueki to beat. Lays it into Carnareed. Carnareed, quick ball into the box. Ramirez tries to flick it. It is blocked though. And now West Ham can play out. Gory. Ueki. Comes inside. Crossfield pass. Martinez has Bright on her back. And loses possession. Here's Nusken. Ball in. Blocked by Gory. And that will be a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, the problem for West Ham there is that Ueki is the one who's played the long ball. Because they're so deep, Ueki's the one that's played the long ball to Martinez. Which means Martinez hasn't got anyone to flick it onto. Because if a centre-half plays that ball, Martinez can then receive it and flick it onto Ueki. But because she's the winger, that's where they run it. But because West Ham are just so deep and Ueki's the one playing that long ball forwards, just no option. Martinez can hold it up for as long as she wants, but there was nothing arriving.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Chelsea ball in. West Ham deal that out to Kira Walsh. Walsh's effort is wide.
Had a couple of those, picking the ball off on the edge of the area, shooting opportunities. You feel if they continue, there's an opportunity for Walsh to get a goal tonight. Not a bad ball in from Guro.
Yeah, got to be hitting the target though, surely.
Yeah, oh yeah, from this, yeah, definitely. Just yeah. There's been a couple.
You know what you felt she should have done better. Say does really well to hold on to possession there. Now Nystrom has options down the line. Quickly though, Chelsea shift across to shut them down. Zadorsky. Now Katrina Gory. Siren Gory, lovely combination play between the midfielders. A ball sprayed out wide now to the overlapping Hanshaw. She'll dart inside quickly, lays it in there, and that is cleared away by Millie Bright. Gory. Martinez pokes it around the corner wonderfully. Will Hanshaw get there? No, she won't. And Bjorn will lay it into Carnareed. Now Lawrence. Carnareed back to Bjorn.
West Ham are ending this half positively. And now we're hoping they can see this at 2-0 until half time.
Yeah. Hamano. Charles. Nusken. Guro Wrighton now into Charles. That's cleared away in there by Nystrom. Now Walsh. Back to Anna Hampton. Nusken. Now Bjorn. Lawrence. Bjorn. Pass inside into Nusken. Back to Hampton. Now Kira Walsh.
Chelsea's doing well one back from Gory there, to be fair. Yeah,
Walsh competing there against Martinez and shrugs her off the ball again.
Martinez is trying to put out a bit more of a physical edge, but again, really good from Walsh that. Just to hold on to the ball and just to see her off.
Great press resistance.
Mm.
Unfazed really by the physical battle. Hamano. Carnareed. Just trying to leave that. But unable to find a teammate. Here's Ueki. Wants to take on Carnareed. Does want to drill a ball low. Cleared away though by Bjorn. Phil says, every time I watch West Ham, I feel sympathy for Gory. She puts in such a shift and is quality, but so often on the losing team. Well, to be fair, it was her error that led to the second goal, but I get what you're saying. She does just ooze class. And the way she wants to play different to the way West Ham wants to play. Silly foul there from Chelsea.
Yeah, better from Ueki. Direct at Lawrence and draws the free kick again. It's what she's got to do more of.
A minute left in this half. Trainer Replica says, most of these Chelsea players could be starting for every other team in the league. I think they just stay there for the money. I don't get why Chelsea just stack up players. To be fair, you want two players at least in every position. Then of course you'll have others like young prospects, some more rotational options in the squad. There's no one at Chelsea that isn't getting any minutes, apart from Ev Paris, but she's moved on. Ball onto the goal. It's not far away from Vivian Assayi. Ends up coming off that near post, but maybe should have crossed that rather than going direct, but tried to catch Hampton out with a direct effort.
She's done well, hit the post, but realistically, I don't mind, trying to be cheeky, but the position they're in, they're not in a position to be trying, stuff like that. Just put it in the box, hope someone gets a head on it, see if you can get a goal.
And that is half time here at Kingsmeadow. Chelsea 2, West Ham United 0. Goals from Joanna Ritting, Carnereid and Ntioka Nuskin see Chelsea lead at the break. It's a half where West Ham have struggled to play out, where Chelsea have looked very good. At half time, it is 2-0. I'm going to take a very quick break and then we'll talk through our thoughts on that first half. In the meantime, I'll leave you in the very capable hands of Harry to talk about that first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was an expected 45 minutes, you feel. I think that, Chelsea started the better side, were on top for the majority of the half and really in control for a good 20-30 minutes of that first 45. So, yeah, 2-0 they lead and some really good pieces of play in there. I think a good response from the weekend's performance, been much tighter at the back and they've looked more dangerous coming forward. Obviously, that being said, it is probably a weaker opposition in West Ham and a West Ham side who I think that tactically have got it wrong tonight. I think that I don't understand why Ueki is on the left-hand side and why Assayi is up front. I'd have them the other way around. I think Assayi can cause more problems on this left-hand side. So that one confuses me. I'm also surprised as to why West Ham are trying to play out of the back. The reason they conceded the second goal is because they just got caught in possession. I don't get why they're trying to play football. I understand why you want to get the ball down, you want to play some stuff, but at the end of the day, they're playing Chelsea, they're coming to Kingsmeadow. When you've got two tall physical strikers in Martinez and Assayi, I don't understand why that ball's not going long. They've tried to play out the back and it cost them the second goal. That'll be really, really disappointing. It's a frustrating one for West Ham because I think that Chelsea have played well and they do deserve a 2-goal lead, but especially that second goal where they just got caught in possession on their own, the edge of their own penalty area, just got it all wrong tonight, and I'm really surprised at that. I think the game plan just incorrect, and it's meant they've really struggled to do anything, have any impact on the game. They look better. Definitely looked better towards the end of the first half, but at that point Chelsea had taken their foot off the gas and were kind of in cruise control and just seeing out the half, but they did look better. But 2 taken goals from Chelsea. West Ham, they'll be frustrated at both goals. They probably should have done better. I think the first goal, fair enough, Carnereid, it's a really good strike, but Shemet gets beaten at a near post and the ball should have been cleared before Carnereid even got an opportunity to shoot. But overall, from that angle, it's a really well struck effort from Carnereid, who has struggled for goals of late. And then, as I said, the second goal, Nystrom just gets pickpocketed on the edge of our penalty area, and Guro then manages to play it back to Nuskin, who finds the rounds the goal kick, finds the back of the net, but it all comes from Katrina Gorey just playing a really weird sideways horizontal pass across the pitch that puts Nystrom in all sorts of bother. Really, really weird one from West Ham. Just, again, forcing it out of the back and getting punished for it. And I really don't understand why they've tried to play football that way this evening. And it means that at half-time in this semi-final they find themselves 2-0 down, and that will be frustrating. But credit to Chelsea. They've turned up. They've played much better than they did at the weekend. I think there's a lot of players here who have played a whole lot stronger. Ramirez starting from the office looked tidy. Guro's looked better, getting himself an assist. Nuskin's done really well getting forward. Carnered, another one who I think has not put up many numbers recently, so a big goal for her tonight. But overall, as a team, Chelsea just playing much, much better. Some really nice football, and at times they've been really, West Ham have struggled to contain them. And there's been a couple other shots. Shemmick had to make a couple saves. West Ham have had a few clearances in there, which has saved their bacon. But overall, a competitive first half. But Chelsea deserved to lead. But yeah, I don't see any way that West Ham get back into this game. At the end of the day, we know Chelsea. They're 2-0 up at half-time in a semi-final. There's a very, very small chance. It's very unlikely they're going to let that slip. And that does make it tough for West Ham. But they'll come out. I think they've got to change the tactic. Start getting that ball, playing that ball direct. Start playing it into Martinez and really try and cause Chelsea some issues. Looking at those stats then, 13 shots for the home side to 1 for West Ham. That was a size free kick at the very end of the half, so nothing doing for the away team. Chelsea putting 3 of those shots on target. I think they'll want to be a little bit more clinical. 13 shots, 3 on target. They would expect better, 2 of them ending up in a goal. So, yeah, I think Chelsea would expect to potentially be a little bit more clinical, a little bit more dangerous and a bit more accurate in front of goal, but overall not too bad. 72% possession for Bompastor's Blues. I mean, that is just ridiculous. West Ham have barely had a kick, and when they have, they really haven't done anything with it, and it makes for tough reading, really. It is a semi-final, and it has been somewhat competitive, but when one of the opposition only has 28% of the ball, it just doesn't. It's just not going to end well. They just can't do anything with that. Possession. As we say, possession doesn't mean everything in football, but at the end of the day, you have to have. It gets to a certain point where when you have so little of the ball, it does make it practically impossible to try and make a dent on the game. But yeah, we expected this going into kickoff. We knew Chelsea would turn up with a game plan today, with a point to prove after the poor performance of the weekend, and really put on a good show. So credit to them. Deservedly ahead, and have, well, you'd expect to go on and get a few more in this game and really seal the deal. And if Chelsea do hold on, find themselves into the League Cup final for the 6th time, and they will play one of Arsenal or Manchester City. That is tomorrow. We will be live for it, so make sure to join us. Same time as tonight, 7:15. Expecting a much closer contest and a really, really good game. If the game tomorrow is remotely as good as the one at the weekend, then it is going to be an absolute blockbuster of a semi-final. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But I mean, it'd be nice to see a different final. Obviously, we've seen Chelsea-Arsenal now for the last 2 or 3 years, so it will be good to see if we don't get a Chelsea-Arsenal final for the 3rd or 4th year in a row. But that will take Man City to turn up tomorrow and manage to get past Arsenal, which it would be it's going to take something special from City. They want to win tomorrow. Arsenal have looked really, really good of late, so that will be a really, really good game. I'm not, I would be surprised if Chelsea were to somehow throw this away. They've got one foot in the final now. They've just got to get the job done.
Yeah, we're all right, everybody. There's a lot of people joining in chat, so I think we'll talk through some of those messages as I return. And Lucky, good to see you. Says, hey lads, a better performance than the other day. Definitely so.
Yeah.
Vast improvement. Says, Mike has been amazing. Less displaced passes. It's been the theme really of Chelsea in tackle, hasn't it, Harry?
Yeah, I think that it's been it's been much better. It's much more accurate and just a more complete and rounded performance. And it's one of those where it's what we knew Chelsea would go to and play better. It was poor at the weekend, but we know that wasn't the Chelsea standard, and it's been much more perfect, if anything.
Yeah, a much more assured performance. CSC Rise says, "Hi, gent." Alex saying that the Soccer Kira Micah midfield looks much more comfortable than what we saw at the weekend. Yeah, I think Kat is not an attacking midfielder, so I think we do. She is a forward, so we do lose a lot of the balance of the midfield with Macario in there. I think Captain's very young, very inexperienced, still a very good player, but there is a bit of inexperience there. So yeah, I think that does make sense. And obviously Walsh only played a short period.
Yeah.
So couldn't get a full read on her performance at the weekend. Monster House saying Walsh and Maker making Chelsea look very calm in possession. Completely agree with you there. Balthazar John, still not a fan of Ashley Lawrence. Shock. Alex was running by saying Ashley's not that bad in the first half, but other fullbacks are not available at the moment. Yeah, Chelsea obviously now only with Bronze and Lawrence who can play right back. I still find it interesting that Perisset didn't get any minutes in the first half of the season with Lawrence being preferred, but Lawrence is here now. I think that is an area where Chelsea would probably look to add someone maybe in the summer.
Potentially, yeah.
Especially if, depending on what Bronze's plans are. We know she often doesn't stay at clubs for more than a couple seasons, especially given her age now. I wouldn't be surprised if there is an NWSL move on the cards for the summer after next. I think Chelsea will be keen to identify a sort of long-term right-back option. I'm not sure Lawrence would be that. So, yeah, I think that will be something that is looked at. Lucky says Micah's much more technical. Cat forces shots quite often. Yeah, I agree. I think, Hamano is a playmaker, creative player. Macario is a forward. I think if we're going to use Kat Macario effectively, it will be either up front or on the wing. I think that's where she's much more effective than in that attacking midfield role. Saying it's good to see Arsenal again at the Emirates tomorrow. Indeed. It's good to see they use the Emirates as the home ground. I still think all WSL clubs should now be using the men's stadiums, because I think most clubs would still sell out a decent attendance, and it then would lead to things like goal line technology being able to be used, stuff like VAR potentially. So yeah, I think that could be something that is looked at. Jason says, do you think that Chelsea can get rid of their bias towards playing out from the wings and moving into playing more centrally and creating opportunities from there? I think Chelsea will look to have options from both areas. I don't see any problem with them creating options from wide areas, though. I think Chelsea are very effective at doing that because they've got very good wide players, and a lot of it comes from drawing space by using wide triangles and then creating that space in behind the fullback. So I think that is a very effective way of breaking teams down. Obviously, once you've got Lauren James in attacking midfield, you're always going to have someone that can do something from attacking midfield. So that will be something that is considered. But yeah, I think Chelsea will always want to have options. I don't think they don't have to go out wide every time. That is just a very effective way of beating teams, especially considering the real strength Chelsea have in those areas with Gura Wrighton and with Joanna Ritting-Carnery. So yeah, that's why Chelsea create attacks from those wide areas or look to play into those wide areas a lot of the time. Ryan says, I know Carnery scored, but that right-hand side with her and Lawrence is so frustrating. I disagree. I think we've had a lot of success down that right-hand side tonight. I think, yes, at times, I think Lawrence's movement in attacking areas isn't as strong as perhaps someone like Lucy Bronze, but I think Chelsea have been very successful down that flank. So, I disagree. I don't think it's been too bad. Ryan says, I read on Reddit somewhere, I don't know if it's true, that the cost of playing in the main stadiums is a lot of money. I think I read it's something like 80,000 plus cost to play at the Emirates for the women. Well, if it's working for them, isn't it? Like, they are regularly selling. I mean, they've got 50,000 for the North London Derby this weekend.
Yeah,
which is a very good turnout.
The other thing is that that is a lot of money, I agree, but to the likes of big billionaire owners, I don't think they really notice. Well,
no, if you can. Well, obviously for the women's side, it's sort of how can we start turning a profit now in women's football, and I think it's very much. I mean, I don't know why people always focus on the fact that no one in women's football makes money, but it's like I don't think anyone in football makes money.
No.
Everyone loses, but it's the fact that the people who take the brunt are the billionaires who invest in the clubs. But they do that because they've got nothing else to do with their billions of pounds.
Yeah.
That is the point. That, the only clubs that make money are the clubs who aren't owned by billionaires. So they invest strategically. If you think your clubs like your Bournemouth or your fan-run clubs like someone like Luton Town, where they have to build that up because they don't have billions of pounds to spend. I mean, even Luton had to have investment from elsewhere, had to be bought out before they could get to the Premier League. So no one in Mentor makes money, particularly.
No.
But
at the end of the day, Michelle Kang isn't making loads of money off the thousands of football clubs that she owns, but she's got an incredible sum of money that it doesn't really matter. Yeah, she's not losing enough to worry about it, so she keeps throwing more at it and seeing what happens, which is a cool little project that she's managed to build for her life. But yeah, I definitely do think that over the next couple of years we should see every team in the WSL.
But with Arsenal, for example, if it costs 80,000 to run the Emirates, to have the Emirates for a women's game, they're selling 50,000 for the North London Derby. They'll sell similar for most games. Yeah. And that is, even if you say that's £5 ticket, that's 250,000. And then if you consider that it's often between £7.50 to £15 ticket, depending on whether it's an adult or child ticket, it's going to be considerably more than that. So they will turn a profit on those sorts of games. The TV revenue will hopefully increase in the not too distant future. So I think that the money in the women's game is going up at a decent rate now. It is growing so quickly. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I get what you're saying about that being the financial difficulties of that. But I think for most clubs now in the WSL, it's not. The owners aren't going to see a huge loss in money. It is now back underway. West Ham getting us back underway in this game. Chelsea leading by 2-0 as we get back underway for the second half. That's the thing. I still think clubs would use these, stadiums like Kings Meadow and Meadow Park for these kind of games. Your League Cup games, your FA Cup games. I mean, tonight a League Cup semi-final should be played at a bigger stadium. But yeah, I think you could play the WSL games. Obviously, we already play Champions League games at Stamford Bridge. Yeah. But it has to be more than 3 games a season at the Bridge. Here's Hampton. Walsh. Now Bjorn. Hermano. Lawrence. Carnreed. Plays it down the line. Now Ramirez. Tries to find Carnreed and can't. I think you obviously like Kings Meadow tonight. What's the capacity, about 5,000?
Got to be some over there.
And I think if you would easily sell a considerable amount more if you have all the games at the Stamford Bridge.
I think it surprises me that like the Champions League group stage games are at Stamford Bridge, but the WSL games aren't. Like, if I'll be honest. It'd make more sense if Chelsea played Celtic at Kings Meadow and then played...
UEFA rules, isn't it? They have to play at Stamford Bridge. It's got to have all the TV and stuff for UEFA.
They do what they want, don't they? They just... I don't know. It's just weird. But I think we'll get there eventually. I understand why they haven't so far. I think there are some clubs that would struggle. Like, I don't think West Ham would make enough of a dent out of the Olympic Stadium just yet. But I definitely think we will start to get there over the next couple of years.
Yeah. Alex says, Michelle Kang doesn't want profit, she wants to develop the women's game. Exactly. Yeah. We need more owners like that. I think the same is true of Todd Bowley. Clearly investing in the women's game, knowing that it is going to grow over the next few years.
At the end of the day, they're not people that need profit, to be honest. I think Michelle Kang's doing all right, personally. But so, yeah, she's one of those people, she's got the money, she wants to make a difference, and it's good to see, even if she is just going to try and dominate Europe and America with her super teams. But, it's good work. It's good. She's investing a lot of money into the game.
Yeah. That's what I find interesting when Arsenal fans talk about how they can't invest the same as Chelsea. It's like you're directing your anger at the wrong people. Stan Kroenke will not notice if a couple million quid leaves his bank account. So... the money's there. It's on the Arsenal board to realise the potential with the women's game, especially with how popular the Arsenal women's team is.
And Liverpool, I mean, they give Matt Beard pennies to work with. Yeah. It's ludicrous.
He gets pocket money. That's his budget.
He has to like wash their windows and stuff just earn a bit of cash.
Yeah. Seriously, Ryan says, but you can't justify that for Chelsea because our attendance won't reach that of Arsenal's. Because look at the UWCL games. Do Chelsea even get 20k? Not for the group stage games, but it is worth saying that they are. You know, the Real Madrid game. The problem with that one was it was the first game, and there was like a couple weeks between the draw and the game, which was really frustrating because that would have sold well. It did sell well last year. It would have sold well if there was more than 2 weeks. So there was no time for the club to market the tickets or people to be aware of it. And then you had games against Celtic and Twente, where people would have looked at the opposition and gone, is it really worth it? It's a cold Wednesday night in November and December. Do we really want to go watch Chelsea Twente, Chelsea Celtic? But the problem is, if you have, because like Chelsea Arsenal was great, you had quite a few fans there, but if they enjoyed that experience, then the next time they could go to Stamford Bridge, because Kingston Meadow is much more difficult to get to and more difficult to get tickets to, the next time they could go watch Chelsea Stamford Bridge, that they would be aware of is the Liverpool game, which is the last game of the season.
Why
it's difficult to attract
Man
fans
United was at the Bridge. That one, just bizarre that. But yeah, that's the thing. When you look at it, the games that Chelsea have had at Stamford Bridge this season in the WSL, it was 35,000 for Man City and 42,000 for Arsenal. And Liverpool probably a decent 20.
Neve Charles, and that is a wayward shot into the stands.
Stays in the ground though. That's the main thing.
Alex says, imagine London City Lionesses play the Champions League in 3 years against Lyon. Well, it's quite an interesting issue because I'm not sure whether the clubs are owned by consortiums, whether they are owned by Michel Kang, but they may have to transfer ownership to bypass UEFA's rules, because the clubs that are owned by the same owner aren't allowed to be in UEFA competitions. I mean, obviously, we've seen the men's game; many teams have gotten away with it.
I can't wait to see Michael Jang pop up when to own London City Lionesses one day. But yeah, because what the other problem is going to be is what are they going to do once they do get out of the league? Because they have to have a bigger ground. So they're going to build one. She could build like some super stadium.
Well, London City probably.
Yeah, that is highly possible. Isn't Michelle Kang who's become the first NWSL team or the first team to build a purpose-built stadium for the women's side? Was that someone else?
Oh, I think it might have been the Mahomes team.
Maybe.
There's I can't remember
Angel
the wife's
City,
name.
isn't it?
Yeah, they're owned by Patrick Mahomes, the NFL quarterback, and his wife.
Got quite a bit of cash, to be fair. Yeah.
Yes, he's won so many. He's keeps winning the Super Bowl. And he's probably going to win it again this Sunday. Ball across the box from Ramirez, falls with Carnery to the back post, and she strikes the Chelsea Football Club sign on the stand.
Chelsea probably could have had a third in this second half so far.
Probably should have, yeah. 2 glazing opportunities.
Good football.
Even more obvious. Ramirez did really well. Took it past Nystrom here, used her physicality, shrugged her off.
Nystrom struggles.
Plays across the box, there just isn't anyone there. Falls to Carnery, probably a time to take a touch in there.
Got to go low and hard. Just got to go low and hard there from Carnery. Just gets under it.
Just got to put it on target. Shemik's recovering from the other side of the goal.
Comes in too hard and too fast.
Yeah, Pax in a sense, just try to hit it immediately. Had time there to think about that shot.
Again, West Ham trying to play out and just they keep off the pitch. It's frustrating me because I don't get how it isn't obvious to Rayan Skinner that playing out for West Ham tonight hasn't worked and isn't working.
It's a real commitment to playing that style. But
I understand why you want to play good football, but at the end of the day,
Brighton.
You've got to do what's going to make you competitive.
Into the box, just headed away. Nuskin. Oh, it's a fantastic turn. Neve Charles now into Hermano. Hermano tries to find a pass but can't, and now West Ham will look to break. Smith beaten for physicality by Hermano, but Steve.
Yeah, Hermano just
grabbed her a bit there.
Grabbed her arm, threw her on the floor.
Emily says, I couldn't agree with you more, boys. Being a Liverpool fan myself, I find it so frustrating that we just don't want to invest, but FSG still expect results. It won't happen. However, I do think Matt Bader will bring back silverware to the club. I think he'll win one of the cups within 2 years, but we'll never win in the league unless we get serious about investing. Depends. I think Matt Bader's a very good manager, but yeah, as we've seen this season, they simply wouldn't be able to compete for a cup if they don't have more investment. Their squad is too small.
Well, it's really weird because they go out and like make brilliant signs like Olivia Smith, and then just go, "That's it. That's all your money gone."
That's all of the money that is here. Roman Haug, Olivia Smith, the last 2 windows, and that's pretty much it. Because that is that that they're the marquee signings. Then suddenly there's no money left.
Yeah. The rest of them are loans and frees.
Yeah. Riley says, in terms of fans as a club, do you think Chelsea's recent success will mean that they grow their fan base out over the next few years? Definitely. I think the reason Chelsea are investing so much is because they realise there's an opportunity here. Because if they are the most successful side, if they are winning Champions League, if they are winning the title, people will want to go and watch them. People will want to become Chelsea fans. There's a lot of young girls who won't have those allegiances, those sort of lifelong allegiances that boys growing up have.
Yeah.
And obviously, not saying that women's football is exclusively for girls, but that is who they're looking to, inspire. They won't have those allegiances because women's football isn't as tribal yet. It is a very new sport. They're not necessarily going to have parents, and some will, but there's a lot of young girls who won't have parents who are huge Arsenal women's fans or huge Chelsea women's fans. So I think there is a potential there to inspire the new generation. And if it's between going to watch Arsenal, who aren't really winning anything, or going to watch Chelsea, who have loads of the best players in the world and are winning trophies, who are competing for WSL titles, who are wanting to go and win the Champions League, I think a lot of people will then turn towards going to watch Chelsea.
Yeah. I think Arsenal got a big fan base, but you think about it, they were the first women's team to really make a stand, to really go out and win trophies, and they were the dominant side.
You look at their audience, there's a lot of those 20 to 30-year-old men and women who love the game, who are Arsenal fans, because at the time they were the dominant force.
And also they timed it well, because they were the dominant force when the sport first started. At the same time, their men's side were well, not completely shit, but for the latter stages, they were pretty bad.
Yeah, well, obviously, when they won the Champions League, it was that the same year as the Invincibles, or a couple of years after? I think it might have been the same sort of, a very similar time period. But yeah, there was a good vibe around both the men's and women's side at that time. I think obviously then a lot of people who couldn't go and watch a very successful men's side would go and watch the women's side. I think what may happen is the inverse at Chelsea, in that people are so fed up of watching the men's side win absolutely nothing, they will just go and watch the women's team because they actually want to see some trophies.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's why Chelsea are investing the amount that they are.
That's what it's also good to see the likes of Arsenal back in the Champions League. Because if you're telling me, obviously the draw is Friday, if Arsenal draw Barcelona in that quarterfinals, that Emirates will sell out. And
I will be there.
Exactly. That won't just be Arsenal fan. That'll be neutrals. That'll be everyone. That'll be incredible. Oh, Ramirez, that's superb again.
If it falls on the date I've got to go to London anyway, I am there.
Yeah.
Here's Ramirez. Cuts inside, takes aim. It's a good save from King of Shemek.
And again, I think if you get say you get Chelsea Leon as well, suddenly you've got a sold out Stamford Bridge and a sold out Emirates, watching 2 super games of football.
Yeah.
And then you got Man City.
It's going to be interesting.
Smashing some team at the Joey.
Well, they're all going to be good ties. That's the real positive of the Champions League this year. Is I think the quarterfinals at the Bridge and at the Emirates will probably sell out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Etihad does well as well. They've surely got to play those games at the Etihad.
I think they're just.
There's no way Barcelona rock up and they make them go to the Joey again.
That's the other. That's the other reason I don't get. They were challenging for the title last season. Imagine they had gone on to win the league and they hadn't. I mean, I know their last game was at Villa Park, but like penultimate game week, they could have won the league against that Arsenal game, that Black Saints game. I mean, I know they lost it, so it's probably quite good they didn't put it at Etihad. But they could have potentially won the league that day, or at least gone very, very clear. And they didn't put it at their biggest stadium. Well, just in case Chelsea hasn't won the game already, here comes Lauren James Aggie-Beaver-Jones in a moment.
Indeed. I'm very interested to see where LJ goes on here, because she's played up front, she's played on the left wing. Don't think she was hugely influential in the game against Aston Villa from those positions. I really hope she's coming on to replace Hamana. Get her in attack midfield, and let's just see if she can set the world alight, as she normally does.
That's the other thing with while we obviously... Oh, Hannah Hampton's just running past.
Just saying, you put pressure on her, so she just took it faster. It's one back though by West Ham.
While we're watching the League Cup, I'm intrigued to see whether the Pride Park will sell out. Because obviously, if it is a Chelsea Arsenal final again, that's two teams from London that have got to travel all the way up to Derby.
I think the thing is, for a lot of people, that won't be too difficult because if you live in London, you've only got to get the train up to Derby. If you have a car, you can drive there. Such a ball ache for us.
I know,
So
but even if you drive, it's a good couple hours.
Depends where you live. If you live here, yeah.
Well, no,
if
London,
you live in Middlesbrough,
that's one. There's two London-based clubs. The majority of the families going in the south, but I guess it does give a good opportunity for. And if it's City, then that's pretty good for them. If it is Chelsea Arsenal for what I think will be like the third or fourth year running, that's incredibly boring. I mean, it's not. It's been a brilliant game of football, but it is.
It is different though, isn't it? Because they are very different teams from even a year ago. Neither have the same manager. So, there are some huge differences. And I think it will be a really good game of football. I think Chelsea and Arsenal was a closer game than Chelsea and City.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea City would be really interesting right now as well because City are just in such poor form. Unless Greenwood makes a sudden recovery.
Yeah. It is in
that's the thing, I can't see City beating Arsenal tomorrow night. In their current form.
We will wait and see.
But then equally, I would have predicted United, admittedly with slightly less confidence, to win the quarter-final. Hermano just wide.
I think Arsenal United have been very interesting semi-final. That would be really tight.
Yeah,
I think it annoys me that United lost that game to City, that quarter-final to City. Because United, I think, are probably the closest team to Chelsea right now. Yeah, they got knocked out to City in the quarters.
It's difficult to say because they weren't great. They were good defensively, but they weren't great in the offensive areas against Chelsea earlier this season.
Close to them in Arsenal, yeah.
They should have lost to Arsenal by quite a few goals. Arsenal just didn't take the chance, did they?
I mean, but in terms of being close to Chelsea, I think it's tight. Here comes Lauren James on for Ashley Lawrence.
And then Aggie Viva Jones comes on for Myra Ramirez.
Consider me confused. Because I don't think Lauren James is playing right back.
Well, we'll find out shortly.
And Poibel's coming on as well.
Nusken to fullback? No?
Bjorn. No. It's not Lauren James, I can tell you that much. It's not Carnegie, surely. I am puzzled as to what Bonpastel's done here.
I don't know. Martinez, though, off for West Ham as well.
Yeah. Poibel's gone on there.
So looks like LJ's on this left wing again.
But who on earth's gone the right back?
Pass out, nudged out by Wrighton here at left.
No, because Charles is here too. Is it a 3-back?
It must be.
So it's just a 3-back with Wrighton and Wrighton and Carnegie as wing backs.
And LJ's playing as one of the 2 10s with Hermano.
Well, that's something new that Chelsea have developed.
Should be fun.
If anything, it just looks like Millie Bright's a centre half on her own. And then
got 2 full-back type positions, everyone else up front.
It's the kind of structure that Kira Walsh gives you, though. That you can just do that and afford to get away with it because you got Kira Walsh in the field. So if you do lose the ball, oh, what a shame.
So is there any information regarding when Alex Green will be back? There's a few months, wasn't it, when she got injured, so potentially March.
Oh, Bjorn's gone down on the far side for Chelsea. She looks right, actually.
For England's sake, hopefully Green is back before the end of the season.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what City can deliver. By the sounds of it, Shaw, obviously Hemp's still got a bit, but Shaw should be ready to start. I'm not sure it's for tomorrow or for the weekend. But either way, they're getting there. And Caroline's, I saw Gareth Taylor saying, I think it was today or yesterday, he said that they're practically getting back to normal with Caroline and Shaw being fully fit.
Yeah. Ryan says hopefully Chelsea draws City in the UWCL. No, thank you. Not another domestic game.
Yeah, we want all. It doesn't matter what country they're in. You just want all domestic teams to avoid all domestic.
Because it's Barca out, it's pointless.
You don't want Bayern, Wolfsburg. You don't want Chelsea playing City or Arsenal. You don't want any of the English clubs playing each other.
We can play Bayern or we've got Bayern, Wolfsburg or City.
I see the same, but
Out of those options,
Yeah.
I think the difference between Bayern and Wolfsburg is negligible.
I don't want to see any potential finals. I don't want to see a Chelsea Barcelona.
Well, Chelsea, Barca, and Lyon can't meet, obviously, which is ideal.
Yeah. Semi-final could be tasty though.
Wouldn't mind a Lyon Man City. That would be good. Obviously, Barca can't play Man City. I don't really want to see Chelsea play Man City. Don't really want to see Arsenal.
Last thing, Man City could end up if they. I mean, I'm not saying they could win it. But they could end up with a theoretical run of Lyon, Lyon, Bayern, Barca.
Yeah,
that's
well. The other thing for City is that there's a 66% chance they play someone English.
Yes,
which is boring.
That is really dull. Yeah.
Obviously, because there are 3 English clubs now, there is a good chance one of them, 2 of them will meet.
Oh, it's Arsenal.
Here comes Guro Wrighton for Chelsea. Looks to switch the play. That's not. Oh, that's quite just about found its way to Connery.
There's a chance that City and Arsenal play each other in the UWCL and in the FA Cup.
And the League Cup.
And in the League Cup. Twice in the league. That would mean they play each other 6 times this season. Ridiculous.
Brilliant. Here's Nuskin. Driving towards goal. Gives it to Aggie Beaver Jones. Now it's out wide to Carnereed. Carnereed. Bjorn.
That's the other thing with the FA Cup games this weekend. I don't really look at any games and see any upsets happening, to be completely honest.
Yeah, if Liverpool still don't have fit players, I'd say I'd back Rugby to maybe pull off an upset. But they have now got.
I don't see London City United beating Arsenal. I don't see Wolves beating.
I think that'll
United.
be a tasty game. Because I think they'll be up for it, London City. I think they'll be really up.
They
for that.
will be. I think I don't see Leicester beating. Leicester could beat City, I guess, potentially. I think it's the closest.
Yeah.
It's only other WSL versus WSL apart from Chelsea versus Everton.
Who's Tottenham got?
They're out. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go find a whole list of them.
Brighton are out. Are they out? I don't know now. But yeah, there's not too many. What?
Brighton have got Villa.
Oh,
not really an upset either way, but I think
that
could
be a good game.
12 o'clock Saturday. Crystal Palace, Newcastle. Is it really an upset if Newcastle win that?
Yes.
Okay, well,
but I think Palace. Palace. They took the game to Tottenham. They got a point at Brighton. I don't see them losing that game.
I don't know. I just don't know if their focus will be there.
I think it will be. They just need to win a game.
I think Newcastle. Newcastle's 7th in the league now. They're probably not going to come up this year.
No.
I think their focus. They'll really want to make a point.
Yeah.
We'll see. Portsmouth, Sunderland.
That's big for both those two sides. Very big.
One of them being through will be good.
Probably Sunderland.
Obviously, both Championship, aren't they?
Yeah, Portsmouth are bottom, I think. Aren't they?
Yes, on 2 points.
Yeah, not great.
So,
Sunderland probably will win that football match.
Yeah, Sunderland are 6th, which sounds bad, but they're only 5 points off top.
And if they win that, they're through to the FA Cup quarterfinals. It's a credit to them. That'll be a really good moment. And then if they manage to draw, if then they'll if Palace do get through, then suddenly if Sunderland get through, they draw Palace, they could be looking at an FA Cup semi-final. Brilliant from Chelsea. This is Bjorn coming in on the right hand side, making a brilliant run. Didn't quite pay off though.
No. On the fray.
No, he's on the throw. That won't be
Bjorn. Can't read, yeah.
No.
Might get snapped.
They look so similar. I did think it was a bit too nippy for Bjorn. Charging forwards.
And also, it's not like she's playing right back, she's playing right centre half in a back foot that doesn't have any wing back.
I love them, but Barcel's had a theme of doing this at Chelsea, where she's making up some weird, wacky formation for the end of games. Let's just play a 3-1-5 for a laugh. Not enough players. Never mind.
3-2-5.
Yeah, they're going to play a centre.
Which is what? No, it is a 3-2-5, isn't it?
Yeah. 3
back, Walsh and Nuskin. Then you've got
5.
Brighton, James, Hermano, Carnereed, Aggie up front. It's quite good.
Chelsea just seeing this game out. As you'd expect.
Strong there from Vivienne Say. Next time looking to come forwards. She's battling her way through that Chelsea team. It's now forced backwards and ends up dinking that ball out of play. Amano. Quick throw.
Foul throw,
That is a
yeah.
foul throw. Did think.
Really silly that. I don't know why she's
Yeah.
done that. Here comes Vika Captain for
Number 23, which is, of course, Maker Hamano, I believe.
Oh yes.
So the captain will come on. You assume she'll go into the deeper on. Nuskin will go higher up.
Yeah.
What could be captain in that attack midfielder, actually.
Hamano's last contribution, a foul throw.
That's what
Which is a shame because she's had a really good game. Yes.
Yeah.
Bottom I saw the foul throw and just brought her off. Someone check. Lawrence did that in the Villa game. Chelsea really got to stop giving away foul throws.
Yeah, is a captain playing higher, by the way?
That's interesting.
Which is, yeah, I'm intrigued to see what she can do in that role. Still 22 minutes to play here. Does just feel like this game is, well, the tie seems decided. The game isn't over yet.
No. Still 20 minutes. It's been a flat second half because the games, Villa, West Ham weren't going to really pull it back. Chelsea aren't fussed about going and smashing 5 past them. But West Ham are still playing well enough to deserve to be somewhat in the match.
Yeah.
They get a goal, though. It's squeaky bum time for Chelsea.
Yeah, indeed.
But they've had 1 shot all match. So the chance of them scoring 2 goals is extremely low. But overall, it's a successful achievement for West Ham to reach the semi-finals of the Cup, of A Cup.
West Ham in possession. Siren. Mengwen Lee. Siren back to Lee. Lee under pressure here after a poor touch. That does go out for a Chelsea throw.
West Ham going to make some subs first.
Now Jay will let Wrighton have it as well.
Oh, no, they're not.
Guro. Mr. Charles. Charles now with a pass back to Millie Bright. Captain works wonderfully to get out of that tight space. Asai now right on her back though. Here's Bjorn. Back to Hampton and that will be smashed long. Aggie tries to compete. Zadorsky wins that header. It's amazing how much control Chelsea lost in this game since Ramirez has come off.
Yeah.
That get out of jail free of just lump it long and Ramirez will win the physical battle just isn't there now.
Yeah. West Ham will now make their substitutions. This is going to be a double change.
Yes. Camille Size is coming on. West Ham looking for a bit of goal threat. Perhaps not the goal threat they intend though.
No.
And that'll be the end of the evening for Siren as well. So Sayers coming on, Nystrom coming off, Una Siren off as well, with Brynjarsdottir coming on.
Yeah. A tough game for Nystrom today. Not bad from Siren.
Whoop whoop. Here is Asai. There's the ball. Carnegie now looking to come forward. Strong tackle from Asai. Giving us a Chelsea throw. Much to her frustration.
Not a fan of Asai's short sleeves and gloves combo.
I don't mind it.
I still don't get it. Just doesn't make sense to me. How your hands can be cold but your arms aren't.
Well, they probably would go for a long sleeve shirt. They had the option.
Like an undershirt.
Yeah. Not as cool though, is it?
Well, I don't think it's about being cold. I think it's like playing football.
I know, but I think I love the aesthetics of long sleeve shirts.
Fair enough.
Obviously, they're right bugger in the winter.
Yeah.
In the summer, sorry, but in the winter, long sleeve shirts are crazy. They're really cool, right? That's just brilliant.
Yeah.
She's still going. What flair? There's an elegant roll out of midfield.
She'd look really good at Liverpool or Tottenham.
Yeah.
Or Brighton.
Just feel like a
Surprised
talent
Brighton got in
wasted at
there.
West Ham.
Feels like a Brighton signing.
Yeah, Brighton now would sign her if she was at the age that she moved to West Ham.
Yeah. Poor throw. Poor bit of play from Chelsea. That's all right, because West Ham take the throw and throw it straight back to Nuskin. Picked her out perfectly then. Lauren James brings it down, knocks it past one, passes it past the other.
And then pass out wide from Captain into Aggie Beaver-Jones. Beaver-Jones will come inside. Shifts it back to
Dyed
right.
hair as well.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed that the last few games. She looks like Natalie Bjorn now.
Yeah. Maybe they decided to both do it at the same time.
Millie Bright. That is the noticeable thing between men's and women's football. The women do obviously change their hair colour a lot more. And the difference is when the men's do it, it tends to be to like blue or pink or something mental.
Paul Pogba with
Yeah. So they're very recognisable.
Mm.
But yeah. Just a random observation there. Ball in from West Ham. Asai goes for the acrobatic attempt. It doesn't quite come off, unfortunately. I always love seeing a player attempt an overhead kick. She does try one at least once again.
I love it.
Because
one day it's going to come off and it's going to be goal of the season.
Absolutely.
Ref's giving a corner. Ueki wants a...
Hopefully it comes against Arsenal.
Ueki wants a free kick. I think she might have talked herself
have a
into
look.
going into a bit of trouble here. She spins Bjorn.
No,
it's not enough in that.
It's not foul.
No.
I think it's the key problem with that.
Yes.
Complaint.
The thing is, the player has to take you out.
It's good defending
It's
from Bjorn.
contact. Yeah, it's contact definitely, but I think it's enough to push her out. It's not enough in there to pull her over.
Corner out for West Ham. Vivian Asai over this. Ueki does go into the book for her complaints. Ball into the box. And that's a header over the bar.
Oof.
And Hampton unable. Well, it doesn't need to do anything about that.
Bit of slice. It was
Yeah.
headed towards the right net.
If only King of Shemek was in the goal.
Yeah.
Buried that.
She gets under it, jumps up and up into the ball rather than getting over it and heading it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
A glancing one. And that is out for a Chelsea goal kick.
Mm. 15 to go. Another change for West Ham.
And that is Manuela Parby on for Rico Ueki. Parby, she had a huge impact a few weeks ago. Don't know why she
did.
Martinez comes into the side, and to be fair, Martinez has also looked very good. So they've just got quite a few decent attackers.
Yeah.
But yeah, now a chance for Parby to get back involved in the action.
Ueki, I feel for her because she shouldn't have been put on the left-hand side tonight.
No.
Just another weird decision. I think Rayanne Skinner got it wrong tonight.
It's just brilliant from Kira Walsh. Lovely drag back, push forwards, comes forwards with the ball.
Turns out Kira Walsh is a good footballer.
Yes, this will surprise people. But
Just incredible. I know I said it in the first half, but she makes it look so easy. Makes football look so simple.
it's what frustrated me most about the Barcelona fans saying, "Oh yeah, she's rubbish compared to Patrick Ayaro. That's why she's not played." It's like, oh yeah, it's got nothing to do with the fact that she's refusing to sign a new contract.
Yeah. That pass, by the way, that was a really good chance for West Ham. It's a shot on target from Smith. But that pass from Pavy has absolutely killed her. It's a brilliant move. And if she just Asai with a great pass, Pavy does well. She just flicks it into her. She gets a shot. It just takes her way too wide.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to be fair to judge because Chelsea did have defenders close. But yeah, and Smith another odd one. I think I get why they want to rotate, but they've had Poibel in that role for the last few games. I thought she's done really well.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's in my fantasy WSL team.
That's probably good for you then.
Yeah, it's one of those
Get a
little
rest.
visions.
Visionary.
Yeah.
Visions. Yeah. I don't think I've got any visionaries at the moment.
I've got her and Kelly Gargo, who's banging in goals left, right, and centre.
That's a huge score from her then last weekend.
At this rate, Everton are like outsiders to win the FA Cup or something.
No. They did look good last weekend.
Brian Sorensen's
They keep out the video on the horizon. The horizon is very difficult for WSL clubs to build momentum because there isn't enough. You don't get a good fixture run.
No.
It's another reason why I think they need to add more teams.
So they're playing really well. Now they've got to play Chelsea.
That's the thing. It's look, Crystal Palace have built a nice bit of momentum with a big point, and then it's like, well, who they play next weekend? Oh, they're probably going to lose that one because they are playing. Who they play? They have got Manchester United. So it's like, big point against Brighton. Can they build on that? No.
Everton have done really well recently. They've got to play Chelsea back to back in the FA Cup and in the league.
Yeah.
What's the point? Maëlys Saint-Pomé looks to be coming on for Chelsea soon, and that is Oriane Jean-Francois as well.
Everton, Aston Villa, the only side they've got a nice run. They play Leicester, Everton,
which is big for them because they looked really good.
Yeah. Oh, United actually. United have the kindest fixture run of everyone, really.
West Ham really come into this game, by the way, last 5 minutes.
Have they? Well, Chelsea have gone super offensive.
Yeah.
They're playing against a 3-back, but no one's dropping back to defend, and West Ham still on, just consistently beating them. So 10 minutes left here.
Not bad for Chelsea. It's not been incredibly convincing, but it's job done, and it's final bound unless something disastrous happens in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. But this isn't Arsenal, so they should be alright.
Yeah. Yeah, he still needs work. It's not a brilliant performance. Everton this weekend, the FA Cup, will not be a particularly easy game. Same with Everton the weekend after. They will also not be a particularly easy game. Here comes Jean-Francois for Chelsea. That will be in replacement, I'm guessing, of Kira Walsh. Nope, of Carnreed. I don't know.
Makes more sense. Going back to a normal shape, probably.
Who's playing right back?
No, I don't know.
Exactly, you've still got your defenders on the pitch. This was a goal.
Mano out wide.
It was a good harness off the pitch.
Oh, captain came on, didn't she?
Yeah.
James is there. Who's on the left flank? Guro. Guro's gone to left back.
No, because he's still got Charles playing left centre half. And
Orange on the right flank.
Fair enough.
People playing wherever they want.
It's hurting Chelsea a little bit.
It does look more like it's a bit of a mixture between a 3-back and a 4-back. I think Guro's doing the Baltimore role, isn't she?
Yeah.
So it's Guro, right? It's Guro left back. Chelsea with the ball. Now they look to come forward. Oriane Jean-Francois. Ball down the line. Aviv Jones now 1-on-1 with Camilla Size. Can she beat her? No, Size does really well to hold her up. Chelsea still coming forward though. Lauren James is dragged back in there. Referee not interested. Must have look to come the other way. And Harvey hitting the deck with little contact there from Guro Wrighton. A little encouragement.
You see there, Guro should have played it through. Beat Aggie should have played it through to Camilla Size.
And a yellow card there. I'm not sure how.
Lauren James complaining.
Well, to be fair, she was fouled.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can
not
go.
Sure the refs all.
Well, I'm guessing James has probably said something she shouldn't have.
Yeah, probably. How was that not a foul then, ref?
Well, exactly, you can't do that.
Well, I think.
Well, actually, would have said something worse than that.
You blind melon.
Again, well, I don't know. Actually, some refs might book you for that.
I could think of a few who would.
Yeah.
At least that's a red. Don't mock the blind. They make fun of the disabled.
Yeah.
Red card. Oh no, it's definitely brightness dot here.
Ah.
There you go. Not LJ.
Well, I don't know what she did.
Maybe she's not as bad as the sun make her out to be. Here's Millie Bright. Strikes her range, and that has hit the Bombastor Revolution line.
Revolution. Just frustrated. I don't know what Brian was expecting.
Say it was top corner. I'm running around the studio.
Well, yes, but it was 35 yards out. If that goes in, Not 35. What on earth am I on about? 25.
35. She's always in a day, or I just took a shot.
No, she wasn't. She was a good 25 yards away. 20, 25. I'll go 23.
20 yards is the D, mate.
No, the D is 19.5.
So 20 yards.
No, 20 yards is the D, yeah. The D is 2 yards.
Oh, look at me, I'm a referee.
25 yards.
Do you measure out the D before the start of every game? Make sure it's the regulation length.
Yes. I have a yard counter and I measure the penalty, area and stuff.
Walking up and down the meter stick.
Your penalty area is 0.1 of a millimetre out.
You know that random dad that volunteered to do it? Yeah, get him on the cat. Yeah. Get him to sort himself out, which is awful.
Why is it wonky? To be fair, it's wonky, I would complain.
Depends how wonky.
Yeah. Out by point of a millimetre. Repaint it.
Just before kick-off.
Yeah.
But yeah, not long to go now in this game. It's West Ham who are trying to come forwards now. They've been a say with the ball. This has been a comfortable win for Chelsea. Not perhaps in the scoreline as I suggested from the start, really. But they haven't ever looked like conceding. And they've played a really bizarre formation for about half an hour.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Last 50, West Ham would feel like they'd score about 4 goals. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, Chelsea don't have a load of defensive options on the bench.
But
The only one is Melis on Portmane.
Who's the only player who hasn't come onto the pitch?
Well, she can't play fullback. It doesn't really solve any of the problems they
Yeah,
have.
at least give Brion a brighter rest. I guess it isn't that comfortable yet. But yeah, I've never known
It's not like
in a
Price to come on
semi-final just to be doing
knock
all these
to
sort of
her
weird
own
formations.
Yeah. It doesn't have that semi-final feel, does it? Because
Oh, this is
the
not
strength of the opponent.
at all.
Equally, like Tottenham or West Ham, it's not a hugely difficult game.
No. But also,
because United and City met in the quarters, are also guaranteed to get.
Unless it's a European semi-final, it shouldn't be in the midweek. Domestic cup semi-finals are always at the weekend.
No.
Yeah.
The Camera Cup is literally right now.
Yeah.
And Newcastle did go 1-0 up against Arsenal, but that was then ruled off for offside.
Oh.
The thing is, the League Cup, it as much as obviously it's still a worthy trophy, it definitely doesn't take precedence over the other 3.
And the fact it's now called Subway.
I love that.
Yes, of course, give us a brand deal. It's like the Papa John's or the Mickey Mouse or the Bristol Street Motors.
Subway's got more prestige behind it, hasn't it?
Has it?
More like Subway is the best at what it does. Papa John's isn't
Because
even.
nothing else does it.
But it's a pioneer, much like the women's game in a sense.
It's a sandwich.
Pioneering growth.
What, making rolls in a public shop?
But like, remember, they are the best at what they do.
I think I could go buy.
If it was the Domino's thing, that'd be mint, wouldn't it? But like, it's the Papa John's trophy. It's a funny word.
I don't get why it can't just be
Ball into the box there. West Ham didn't deal with it.
I know it has title sponsor, but why can't it be called the Women's League Cup?
It is. It's the Subway Women's League Cup.
Exactly right. I mean, you get a better title sponsor.
Well, yeah, but it's the Emirates FA Cup. No one calls it that. No one goes, I can't wait to watch this Emirates FA Cup game.
Okay, and the Women's FA Cup is Adobe, isn't it?
It's just that obviously League Cups tend to adopt the name. It's the Subway Cup, the Conti Cup, the Carabao Cup.
WeBuyAnyCar.com Cup. I like that one. Imagine that. Here's the final.
What's the weirdest brand that could sponsor?
Oh.
I like obviously something like Victoria's Secret would be hilarious, but never gonna happen.
Victoria's Secret Cup.
You don't know how to find it. Amy Jones in on goal, squares it, and no one's alert to that. I'm not sure who she's trying to pick out the pass there.
Yeah, if anyone in the chat's got any suggestions for what the Willie...
Thanks for staying strong in chat, by the way, because we've gone a bit of a tangent in the second half. So do get involved in the live chat.
What would Charles is currently going through on goal in her own net.
What would be the weirdest brand that could sponsor a cup competition?
Yes. That is the cutting edge analysis.
Any fast food is funny.
It is
like
funny.
The McDonald's League.
Just a bit flat. That just sounds...
What?
cheap to me.
What, Subway?
Well, no.
Who would you want?
Subway's a bit better, but like the McDonald's league.
Yeah, obviously.
Burger King. Oh. What do you want to get?
What
A
do
good
you
burger?
want? It's the Giorgio Armani League Cup. That's
No,
got a ring
just-
to it.
Oh, it's got to be something. Just can't think. Co-op. The Co-op
League
Cup.
Cup. That sounds awful.
That's got quite good. The Co-op
Come
Cup.
on.
Bit of a mouthful. Co-op Cup. Co-op Cup.
Exactly.
Coop Cup. It should end up being, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that's going to try to bring that under our control. One back by Katrina Gorey.
McVitie.
Now, West Ham in possession. What the McVitie's Women's League Cup.
Yes, and like loads of biscuits sponsor it. And we get to sit and eat biscuits.
Yes. McVitie's make that happen.
Yes, McVitie's Women's League Cup.
We want biscuits. Here is Vika Captain goes out wide to Henri Jean-Francois. Now Kira Walsh. Jean-Francois. Up with our forward options. Goes back to Millie Bright. Bjorn. Walsh. Jean-Francois. Bjorn. Beaver Jones. Just lovely football. That pass was cut out though. And now it is West Ham in possession. Here's Camille Size. Finds Gorey in the middle of the park. Lovely turn to take Nuskin out of the game. Tries to lay it to the left-hand side. Parvy do well to get there. Bjorn, fantastic touch and turn to take Chelsea back into the ascendancy. But then he is lost and out for Chelsea.
Very quickly. It's been a while. It's been one of those type of games. Added time bingo.
Oh,
You got 20 seconds quickly.
throwback. 3 minutes.
You're saying 3 minutes. I will go 2 minutes. It's not really bingo, is it? Because I haven't got...
It's fun, ain't it?
Yeah, added time bingo. If anyone else wants to put a guess, you got 8 seconds.
They're delayed, so they'll probably
Yeah.
know by the time they hear us ask it.
3.
3 minutes.
You win added time bingo this week. Thank you. Come
What's
back to the next dull
what's
game.
my
It'll be
prize?
I don't know.
Walsh can't keep that in it, so I stand throw on the far side. Walsh. The problem is that, obviously with a game like this, is that Chelsea have no prerogative to keep going. It's not like there's goal difference on the line. They just want to get this game through.
No point going for it and not risking it.
Here's Guro Wrighton.
It's a shame. It
Ball
really
down the line.
hasn't felt like a semi-final.
Nuskin pokes it forwards. Chance for Aggie Beaver Jones now bearing in on goal. That's really good defending though from Shalana Todorski to make sure there is no action in this second half. Worth talking about. Really good defending though.
Tomorrow night will be much, much better. I can assure everyone of that. Cracking semi-final. And I think it will be semi-final.
Don't say that, because if it's terrible, they
It
just
won't
do
be,
you.
because I'm here. I really hope it's... I don't know what... Because if you think back to the Man City Man United game, that was really cagey the second time in the League Cup.
Yeah, there's no way it's not interesting from a
Yeah.
tactical
Because even if it's like 0-0, we'll go to penalties. And then we've got fun penalties. We all love penalties.
Yeah. Who doesn't love penalties?
Exactly.
Guro Wrighton. Lauren James lifts it towards the back
Ooh,
post.
you ready?
Punched away from King of Shemek. Sturluson and LJ Golson's her return. What am I waiting for?
Just feels like she might just rock up in like the Conti Cup, in the Subway League Cup final, just score a
I
double.
hope she scores for then.
That is probably true.
Mid-March, when we are in the first week of
Like the
February.
City game, maybe. That's afterwards, isn't it? That's afterwards.
Yeah, that's 23rd of March.
Mm.
Or that weekend. Hopefully the Friday night. That's what we are
We
praying for.
see.
If not, it'll be a Harry solo stream for the Chelsea and City game.
Yes, fun.
No, it'd be great, but
It would be
I'd be
good.
gutted to miss it. Here is Lauren James.
Tidy.
Dances inside. Orion Jean-Francois looks to try and switch the play. It's not a great pass. Chelsea win the ball back.
That was more of a foul and say than some of the
Yeah.
other ones today that have been given.
Captain and OJF have swapped places, by the way. Okay, it's now Captain on the right flank. At least it may just be a momentary thing, but that is what's currently occurring. They have now swapped back round. Catching with the ball back, soft foul, and there Welsh seem to have pushed Katrina Gorey.
Not long to go now. Probably be the last minute of the game. Can West Ham get a goal to go home with?
Oh, possibly.
I say he's going to take it. I don't understand this. One of the biggest aerial presences and their strikers taking the deep free kick.
No, what if she picks that? Can be a sight.
Some things haven't made sense today for West Ham, and this is one of them. But this is probably not the most important.
Ball in from a say, flicked on and claimed well by Hannah Hampton. And that is full time here at Kings Meadow. It feels like a mellow mood, but it is a big win for Chelsea. A 2-0 victory. An important win as that season through to the 2025 Conti Cup final. It was a routine victory, a job done well by the Blues. A debut for Kira Walsh, but ultimately a game which, especially in the second half, peters out very slowly. But a win nonetheless for Chelsea. Now we either Arsenal or Manchester City in the final. Of course, join Harry Life tomorrow for that semi-final game. Other than that, that is everything for tonight's stream. We put out a video today. If you haven't gone and watched that yet, now is your chance to go and do so. We spoke about Arsenal, Man City, the game on Sunday, so go and watch that if you haven't already. That, though, is everything for us today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.